Hey everybody, welcome to 2023. What a year it's gonna be. It's not something you've heard many people say recently. Anyway, I have some good news regarding something I talked about a little while ago to do with the DVLA taking people's licenses away and stuff. Long short, people send license in, get license back without all of their entitlements on it. I've made videos on it, talking about it. I'll link a couple at the end. I expect you know what I'm talking about, so I'm not going to explain all of that, and if you want the context, watch the video, as I say. Basically, a guy called Olsen, who happens to be the guy that airbrushed the original Star Trek Enterprise model and did some of the artwork, I believe, for Die Hard, Terminator 2 and The Abyss. So, you know, not really relevant to this, but it's just interesting that's the dude that this is about. Basically, he lived in San Francisco in the 70s, I believe, moved here around the same sort of time, if I'm remembering correctly. They exchanged his American license for a UK license, and he's been riding bikes for 60 years. Somewhere along the way, he had to update his license or something along those lines, and basically the DVLA removed his entitlement to ride a bike. Now, for most people, if you don't have the certificates and stuff to physically prove that you had taken your test, they wouldn't reinstate it and you'd have to pay money and get your test redone. Even if you had, you know, evidence of insurance, evidence of pictures of you riding bikes around for 50 years, the DVLA did not accept that as, you know, evidence, because there is no evidence of your license, because your insurance company don't actually check you have a license. They ask you what license level you have, but they don't actually, like, contact the DVLA and say, hey, do they even have this license? Well, Paul went to the ICA, which is the Independent Complaints Assessor, who basically assesses complaints against the government, the Bureau of Transport and other connected bodies, as I understand it. Well, their conclusion on his case was that the DVLA was being incredibly unfair about the whole thing and being too uptight about trying to, you know, prove this and that, and also pointed out that their record keeping is entirely flawed, as we already knew, as this is happening, and a few other bits and pieces. They couldn't tell the DVLA to give him his license back, but they did do it. They reinstated his license, and they actually paid him £1,000 compensation to apologise. Now, as far as I know, he found out about this in 2018, and this has only just recently come out, so I don't know whether he took the motorcycle licence again in between, and that's what that £1,000 is to cover, or whether it's £1,000 for his time. What is that? Oh, I know I got a licence for that. So the ICA couldn't tell the DVLA what to do, but the DVLA did see that it was a good thing to reinstate this guy's licence. However, for a lot of people who are now watching this, who are like, wait a minute, I lost my HGV licence, I lost my bike licence, I lost this, that, the other, and I end up having to pay for it again. What the hell? Well, a legal precedent has just been set. Kind of. It's not a court ruling, so it isn't really, because they haven't been demanded to do it, but they chose to do it in this case. However, I do feel like there is a much stronger position now to argue your case if your only evidence is, well, I've been insured riding bikes for 30 odd years, I've got pictures of me on bikes, it's quite clearly what I do, I have all this old, you know, gear, why the hell would I be doing this for this long without a licence? But of course, there are many people who do that, who have been riding for 30 odd years without a licence, and they just never get caught. You know, there was a story of a guy a few years ago who'd been driving for like 40 years with no licence and had never been pulled over by the police, questioned or anything. And he just sailed on through with no problems. I mean, he didn't cause any accidents or anything, so that's one of the ways he didn't get picked up. But it's well, unless he legged it from one and didn't tell anyone it was about it, which is unfortunately something that a lot of people who aren't licensed or insured end up doing, because it's going to be much worse for them to be caught. Bank on. Oh, that was a really solid one. I was hoping it was going to be light. Ah, got me right in the toe. But yeah, it's interesting to see this story coming out just a few months after I really was talking about a lot of it. Oh my gosh, a BMW just gave me the space. You are getting a salute. Yes, that's exactly where you do assessments of a vehicle that you're working on. Not in your own garage, in the middle of a public highway. What's that all about? As I say, it's not a legal precedent that's been set, but I think this is going to be helpful for people trying to argue their case actively now. I don't know if it's going to help you retrospectively, but I really hope it does, because a lot of people got screwed over with that. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you appreciate the fact that there wasn't 3 minutes of Raid Shadow Legends or some scammy ad for some scammy product selling you something in some scammy way, then please do support this channel through Patreon, links in the description. There are many benefits to it: early access to videos that are ad-free at the point that they're early, you get to put questions in for the monthly Q&A, you obviously support this channel, and you also get access to my Discord. A lot of my patrons aren't in my Discord. As I say, get in the Discord, it's great. You know, you can jump into voice chats with us, you can ask me questions directly there, you can hang out and play COD. There's lots of other people on there, very active and also very interesting, funny people. So please do help support this channel if you can. I'm going to need your help in early 2023, as you're going to see soon with some changes coming. Anyway, until the next one, bye bye.